morning, traders. Nick Messenger from Market Tea Leaves. Wanted to welcome you to this special President's Day edition of our newsletter. On Friday, we had mentioned that the markets were correlated to the downside. If we take a look at the closing prices on Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you'll notice that most of the markets were pretty much close to the downside, except for the Dow. The Dow closed 9 points higher. Now you might be asking, well, Nick, how could this happen? And when you said Friday morning the markets were correlated to the downside, what happened? Well, let's take a look. If I click on the Dow, this is an intraday chart of the Dow. We noticed that initially it hovered in parity, if you will. In other words, it wasn't really doing very much. It went up a little bit higher to the 14,000 mark, but then immediately fell off or sold off and remained there for most of the day. We could take a look at even 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, the Dow was clearly down by maybe 70 points or so. But then we noticed something else over here. This is around 3:50 in the afternoon, maybe 10 minutes before closing time on Friday. The last 10 minutes, miraculously, the Dow popped up to the tune of almost 9 points. Now you might be asking, well, how could this happen? And I would suggest to you that the only reason why this happened was because these institutionals, or otherwise known as the smart money, decided they were going to pump money into the markets because they wanted the market, or specifically the Dow, to close into positive territory. In other words, they weren't in favor of the idea of going into a 3-day holiday weekend with a Dow in negative territory. They wanted it to be positive. And you may be asking, well, how do I know that? Well, I would suggest to you this. Do you honestly believe the retail investor, the retail trader, is going to trade into a negative session going into a 3-day holiday weekend? I would suggest to you that an astute trader would never do that. I know for certain, I know for a fact, I would never do it. And I know many others who wouldn't do it either. Besides that, it will require a tremendous amount of liquidity and capital in order to pump that market up into positive territory. And the only folks who have that are the institutionals and the smart money. If we take a look at what happened on Friday, I mean, basically this entire market was correlated to the downside. And it remained there most of the day, which I find to be a bit ironic. But again, as I also said, just about every other market was in negative territory, closed in negative territory. Even gold and oil closed in negative territory, which should give you a little hint that that there is some market manipulation going on here. So, just so you know, hope this helps, and look forward to the next time with you.